Hey everybody. Just wanted to talk a little bit about marching band percussion, drumline specifically, equipment. I've touched on this before, and I will do a video. Maybe I'll do it this weekend. It's a holiday weekend. I'll have a little time. Just a quick video. It'll probably be a short. Tenor drums, quads, quints are too heavy. It's 2022. I don't know why, other than I don't know why. I don't know why tenor drums have to be so heavy. I just don't. Especially for high schoolers. Like if you want to put heavy tenor drums on a 20-year-old college kid, fine. If you want to put them on your DCI cores and that's what you carry and blah blah blah, fine. My issue is they're not practical. So when I was in college, we marched Yamahas. We're pushing 30 years ago. So, 22 years ago. 27 years ago. My math is horrible, probably because I'm in denial. I graduated in 94. It's 2022. So 28 years ago. 26 to 8 years ago. Quarter of a century. We marched tenors. They were shallower. They were more shallow. I don't know what they were made of. I never carried them because that's not my instrument. I never picked that instrument up. I always marched bass drum as a freshman and then snare as a sophomore, junior, and senior, wherever in the two programs I marched in school. In high school and then at Kutztown University. Great school, by the way, in Pennsylvania. Small school, relatively speaking, state school. Much more beautiful campus now than it had before when I was there. So regardless, the drums were shallower. The front of those Yamaha tenors, I remember being no more than like 4 inches. 4 inches. They had a deep scoop, so they quickly got deeper at the back. So they had a scoop, which again all tenor drums have, but a lot of them have that depth. There's more depth in the front. The ones that we have at the school I'm helping with, there's a good 6-8 inches of wood there that if you removed, I'm sorry, I don't think it would affect it that much. They don't have bottom heads. I mean, you're playing open-ended drums. I watch a guy on YouTube. He weighed, 3 different kinds of drums. He weighed the Pearl set, he weighed the System Blues, and he weighed Yamaha set. And the Yamaha set was the lightest set he had. It was still like 30-something pounds, but it was lighter. I just don't know why. And I haven't looked at buying any or priced out or sizes or anything. We need to start really thinking about what we're doing to our students with these drums. A 14 by 12 snare drum, is probably today lighter than what I carried, which was a 14 by 11, I think, built like a truck. It wasn't a high tension drum. I mean, it was, but it wasn't a suspended, free-floating head drum. It was made when Yamaha didn't have that yet. So Yamaha developed this Forzando drum after the drum that I played in college. And I love the drum I played in college, but it weighed a ton. It weighed a ton. It's very heavy compared to, and that's because they had extra layers of wood. They had the plies. It was like extra plies of wood at the top and the bottom, and then the lugs were arched in the middle, full lugs that went from as is normally the case in a marching snare drum, but full lugs from top to bottom, but then they had an arch in the middle to help relieve some of that tension that oftentimes pops out. So they were built like a skyscraper, right, to withstand the tensions, the pressures. Skyscrapers are built very, very, strong with only a little bit of sway. Anyway, a bass drum, again, heavy. Still not as heavy as tenors. Like the heaviest bass drum, I don't know, I'll weigh it sometime, is heavy. But these tenor drums are killing me, man. Like, I don't understand. And you can tell me, well, sound this and sound that. Look, I watch people march 13-inch by 11 snare drums. The Baltimore Ravens, the marching Ravens march those. I'm sorry, I'm not a coffee snob. Give me a cup of coffee. If it's decent, I'll drink it. I'm not a snare snob, a drum snob. If it sounds like a snare drum, it's a snare drum. I don't, and that's most. I'm a normie. I'm a drummer, but I'm a normie. Like I'm a very practical person, I think, in most things, and it's just not that big a deal. I also don't know why we're not making drums out of plastic. Like, that drives me up a wall. I don't understand, especially now that we have the free-floating technology. You could put anything in between there, or nothing. Now, that's going to really significantly affect the sound. But you could literally put nothing between the two top and bottom heads of a snare drum, and it would still function. So literally, you could put heavy paper, but we have amazing technologies in plastics. We should be using the Vistalite, whatever the current, they're kind of back in style again, the clear drum sets. That should be the standard. Like, I don't understand. And it's not, they can't be that expensive to replace compared to a wood shell. So let's say it doesn't hold up like a wood shell. Okay. They can't be that expensive to replace. And the same is true of the tenors. Make them out of frickin' plastic. Take some weight off these kids' backs. Give these kids a chance who are 14 years old, dealing with one now, who's a great kid, and he's learning how to march. He's learning how to carry these things. He's learning how to get around. And it's really sad that this is where we are, where he has to overcome the ridiculous prerequisite that he carry these heavy drums. Like, there is no good reason. I'm sorry. His success and positive experience and performance as a musician far outweighs anything he would get from the physicality of carrying those ridiculously heavy drums. He's not there for that. And it's enough, it's physical enough marching around when you first start. And the drill that we do is demanding drill. It's not easy stuff, And I know there's this culture in drums, in marching band, in percussion specifically, of toughness. And I'm not talking about toughness. I'm talking about biology. Like, this kid is not big enough yet, not strong enough yet. And he's an athlete too. He plays something, I forget what. He's an athlete, but expecting him to carry those things, march those things around, is a big order. And I think it's an unnecessary demand. It's not a request, it's a demand. He doesn't have a choice. And last year I worked with there was a girl in the line, and this is a separate, she also happened to carry tenors. Another issue is the harnesses and the way those are designed, and they've come a long way in terms of weight, which I certainly appreciate, in terms of adjustment, which I appreciate, having been someone who has always been heavy as a marcher until recently. Well, I'm still very heavy, but I'm not going to be heavy when I try out for the Ravens. I understand, I mean, the need, and I bought myself one of those nice Randall May adjustable with the whale tail. I can't wear the whale tail yet because I'm too big, but it has the whale tail on it, and it adjusts out. You know, it's got the pivot in the middle, in here at the chest, at the belly, where your sternum is basically. And I got that thing cranked all the way out because I've got a belly still, right? So it allows for people who are thinner than me and probably fatter than me, because I had it on, you know, months ago, and it was okay. Wasn't great. It's getting better and better every day. I'm saying too much. We really need to think about what we're doing. I don't know why these drums have to be so heavy. They don't, I would argue, have to be so heavy. The people making these design and structural decisions are not considering factors of the physical demands of the program, and they're not giving the students, especially the younger students, a chance to get their feet literally under them and learn the skills of marching. So that's my rant for today. If I'm ever in charge of buying a drum line, that will be the first thing in my brain. How can we make these drums functional? And back to the 13x11s, I don't even think Yamaha makes those anymore. Probably because they didn't sell, because the drum snobs were like, that's a 13, it's a smell, it's standard. I've seen the comments in forums. It's like, well, just teach them to just they'll carry it and teach them to this and that stuff and that. Come on, like, why? For what? For what? So I don't even think they make those drums anymore, which is sad. They do make an indoor drum now. I think it's Mapex makes a 14x10, which is an interesting concept. Mostly for indoor, but there's no reason that couldn't be for outdoor, because what difference does it make? Yeah, so that's my rant today. If you're working with a line, or you have a tenor player, I would highly recommend, or anyone that's marching really, Marching Health on YouTube. I began, first time ever, on Wednesday, working through their 5-week program to get ready for band camp, because that's what I'm doing, is getting ready for band camp. So I'm going to do that, and it was hard. It's a good workout though. Like, it's not over the top. It's not, you know, it's some planks in there and some jogging, knee lifts, and yeah, it's nothing crazy. And I feel it today, but I don't feel it overwhelmingly. I feel like tomorrow I could do it again. I'm sore, but I could do it again. So it wasn't overwhelming. But Marching Health on YouTube. They also have a website. So I'm going through there, and I recommend that even now, if you're working with students, or you are a student, you check them out. It's Marching Health on YouTube. I think it's workout, band camp, workout, prep, something like that. Go on the channel, look for workout week 1, and it'll come up. So I recommend that. The other thing I'm looking for is a nice accessory for my snare line, for our snare line. We don't have marching cymbals, There's a couple times when they're playing on the rim in the music. It's probably supposed to be hi-hats. We had them using dreads, but the transitions are too fast. So I just really want to commit myself these next couple days to tracking down something. We've tried different things. We tried dreads. They sound great. They work at the beginning of the show, but there's no way to transition because it's like, they do a big crescendo and then they go back to the hi-hat part. So there's no way to switch out. Without sacrificing the part, at least partially. So I'm on the hunt for a cymbally. I would love a stacked splash, like a clapper, or I don't want the crashers, the sheesh, really. I don't want that. I want something a little more staccato. I could probably just make something. To be quite honest, could probably just make something. Anyway, I'll look into that too this weekend. So it's a holiday weekend. I'm off Monday, so this weekend might be an adventure of trying to find or make a thing that they can use as a hi-hat stacked cymbal alternative. I'll keep you posted on that. Peace, love, and understanding. Have a great day wherever you are.